Good morning, true crime friends. Today is the day. This is the day we have been waiting for, closing arguments in the Melly trial. Okay, so look, I was just doing a little research on the internet. And by research, I mean like watching random YouTube videos and reading gossip sites, because you research how you research, I research how I research. So look, this case has gone on for weeks. Sometimes it feels like years. I will be very glad when the Melly trial is over, because his fans, little bit vicious, little bit. If you say anything other than like, oh yeah, he's going home, then the Free Melly crowd, oh, they show up and they show all the way out. And in my opinion, their thoughts on the case do not exactly comport with reality. But listen, I don't know. I am not psychic. I do not know what's going to happen. I believe that young Melly will be convicted. I believe that young Melly will not get the death penalty. But I don't know. We might need a psychic to come up in here and tell us what's going to happen. Because look, according to what I hear, this deliberation could take a while. Now, I find that very disappointing, because on the heels of the state's case, I was like, well, yeah, I mean, the defense said prove it, and y'all proved it. Over and over and over again. It started out with the defense saying like, that is not Melly's phone. All these guys share phones. Who do you know who shares cell phones? Like, seriously, have you ever shared a cell phone as an adult with another human being? And if nothing else, I feel like the defense should have said like, here's all the other messages that were sent by other people, or pictures taken of other people. Like, this is clearly Melly's phone. Most notable for me, show all the other phones that he was also using. Like, listen, I am not a defense attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I know a bunch of lawyers, but all the lawyers I know, none of them do criminal work. It's all like, other kinds of stuff. They're paperwork lawyers. They're not like show up in court lawyers. So I don't know nothing about that show up in court lawyer life, except for what I see on true crime and also TV, also Judge Judy, but those are mostly not lawyers. So anyway, today, the defense attorney and the state prosecutor will stand up and say their side of the case, and then the judge will read jury instructions, which I'm told could be up to 20 pages, that he just has to sit there and read to them. Ooh, that's going to be long and painful. And then they go deliberate. Now, because it's expected that the deliberations might take a while, the jury will be sequestered. And mostly that's because this is a gang case. When they said sequestration, I was like, for real? Are you going to put them up in someplace nice? Because, I'm totally a hotel snob. You can't just send me to any hotel. If I'm going to a small town where there's not a hotel, there's only like Airbnbs or whatever, I'm like, what's the nicest place in town? Because I have requirements. I have thoughts about like beds other people have slept in. Now, will I stay in a hotel? Oh, yes, I will. But everything needs to be like cleaned and sanitized to my standards, not their standards, to my standards. And I don't enjoy Airbnbs. I don't enjoy I can't stand a bed and breakfast. I don't know what it is about a bed and breakfast. Y'all can't do nothing for me, but that's just me. But I have just like certain things. This is what I want in a hotel. Not that it matters to this case, but just FYI, so you know, I want a hotel that has an excellent reputation, that's spotlessly clean, that's perfect every single time, no matter what city I go to. I want to go to this and know exactly what I'm getting. I want to know what the breakfast is going to be. I want it to be the same across all the hotel brands. That's just a me thing. I don't know how other people feel about it, but I can't stand the idea of sleeping in a dirty bed. Those bedspreads, nope, and it has to be white. If you have anything other than a crisp white bedspread and very, very white sheets, I'm not even going to put my suitcase down, because that's too dirty even for my suitcase. Hotels. Ugh. Anyway, I prefer to be right here in my very own bed. That's just right here, right at the house. Everything is cool. I'm right here in my very own house. So anyway, these people sadly have to stay in a hotel, but it's because it's a gang case and there's a fear that like the gang people might come in and do something to them or whatever, because those Melly fans, vicious. I don't know what is the story with this man's fans, but they're not. I'm sure some of them are lovely. I'm quite certain some of them are delightful human beings. Hey, nice Melly fans. Some of y'all, though, crazy and not in touch with reality. But now I don't even know if I could post this video because y'all. So anyway, The people will stay in a hotel until they have a verdict. Now, based on that, what's today, Thursday? Hopefully they have a verdict by tomorrow, which is Friday. Hopefully they have a verdict by tonight, like before the sun goes down. If they choose to work deep into the night, then I guess they have the option to do that. I don't know. But this one I'm waiting on breathlessly. But personally, I feel like I already know what this verdict is going to be. I feel like it shouldn't take long because the state kind of proved their case. And then I was watching a defense attorney say that Melly's defense team actually did a good thing in not putting on a bigger case. And I was like, really? Tell me why. I mean, that's what I said to my phone when I was watching Hear It on these videos. And then they answered the question. So obviously they could hear me. And what they said was that, what are they going to say? What could they possibly get up there and say? Could they get up there with experts and say, yes, that math is still math? Because no matter what you think about the math is still math. Like the shots came in at all those angles, and they basically conceded everything that the state said for the most part. Now, they put up this Mr. AD, they put him up the other day, and he was like, yeah, what was the story again? Wait, can I check my notes? Can I check my hand for the notes that I wrote on it? Melly was in the car with me. That's what I'm supposed to say, right? Right. Okay, great. Also, Melly was home that night. He wasn't home that night. Which one is it? Yeah, he was home. Sir, you did not seem that reliable. Everybody, now I would listen to his testimony and I was like, oh, well, he's just lying for his friend. Okay. Seems right to me. But I was like, listen, maybe I'm biased. Maybe I do not know. Let me watch some other people react to this. And so all over the place, I'm watching lawyers and lay people or whatever react to Mr. AD's testimony. And he got up there and he was just like, yeah, no, let me tell you this nice story that does not comply with any of the evidence given at all. Don't worry about that evidence. You have me, Mr. AD, my word on it. Sir, you're not coming with an abundance of credibility. In fact, you have pretty much none. Ironically, the witness that they put on the stand has no criminal record. The witness that they put on the stand who has many, many felonies, whose name escapes me now, but that was the dude with all like the fringe in his face. His hair was all in his eyes. He wanted the computer to cover his face. Oh, he seemed shady as anything. But you know what was true about him? Everything he said matched the evidence. I'm like, oh, okay. The state just gonna keep coming up here and giving evidence and then trotting people up here whose words match the evidence. Oh, well, that's not gonna go good for Mr. Melly. And Mr. Melly stood up there in court and they were like, are you happy with your attorneys? He was like, yes, sir. And the judge did this thing that I thought was really, really smart. He asked a bunch of questions that will be good for appeal, like meaning it's going to make it hard for him to appeal. They were like, did you hear everything your lawyer said? You did? Okay, great. Did you like what they said? Okay, great. Now listen, I am not quoting people. You know I don't quote people. I'm just giving you the broad overview. And they were like, is there anything that you would have wanted your lawyers to say or a witness to put on that they have not put on? And he said, no, sir. That's a trap and you fell right into it. That's for appeals. So later you can't come back and say, oh, I really wish they would do A, B, C, X, Y, and Z, but they didn't. So now I'm asking for it, sir. You just cut your own legs out from under you. But in the words of the great philosopher Felicia Holmes, that is Melly's girlfriend's mama, he not that bright. Now, we 9 minutes in. The Melly people are probably still not watching. So me and you could talk one-on-one. Felicia Holmes said, and I quote, Melly's slow. And I was like, oh, that's rude. Also, girl, why your daughter dating a dude that's clearly slow? Was he on the short school bus? No shade to the short school bus crowd. But he don't seem that bright. But what do I know about the situation? He is not my personal friend. And also, he does not seem like a young man who was paying super close attention during school hours. I mean, he might have been paying close attention to something. It was not school. But Okay, and clearly he failed math. He was like, I'm going to sit here in this stationary position and shoot close up my two best friends, and then I'm going to walk outside the car and shoot a non-moving car full of bullets, and I'm not going to hit the engine. I'm not going to hit anybody else. I'm not going to hit a tire. I'm not going to hit anything that could damage the mechanical workings of the car, and my friends are already dead, so there's going to be no blood in those wounds, and everyone's going to think it's a drive-by, sir. We don't. We really, really don't. But like I said the other day, I believe that this young man was having a mental health crisis, or maybe he's just evil. I don't know. Mere speculation. Mere speculation. It's not my job to determine if people are evil or not. But I do have eyes and my ears work real good. So when I see evil, I can just be like, oh, look like evil to me. When I hear evil, sounds like evil to me. Now, Mr. Melly, sir, which I know you are not watching this, praise God. I watched some of your videos, and sir, you are really quite talented. I was like, oh, beautiful singing voice, different, deep, throaty, a little bit raspy, deeply emotional, really, really nice singing voice. So when he sings like them little love songs, 712-702-505, child, whatever, area code love, that song, that is a really nice song. I think AK said he made a baby to that song. That is a very nice song. Okay, that's great. But when you sing that song about unaliving your friend, that sounded real to me. Sir, are you psychic? Were you predicting the future? Could you just feel in your spirit how all of this was going to go? You had to know you was going to end up in jail. Yes, that is artistic expression. But really, you spoke that into your life. Now listen, the old church ladies would tell you, child, it's a calling on your life. Like, oh, it's a calling on my life? Me? Clearly, I am called to be a gossip. But you can, and the old church ladies used to also say, you got to speak life into that child. Well, Melly's mom and them, whoever was raising him, whoever was around, they might have spoke death into that child. Not into him personally, but they allowed him to just pass it on out because he was passing it on out. And during the Melly trial, I have heard a lot about this young man named King Von. Now, have I ever heard of this person before? No, not at all. Didn't know nothing about him because, as I said before, rap is not my particular genre of music. So I was like, why do people keep talking about this person, King Von? And so I looked up some of King Von's music. Oh, very violent, very violent. There's also like a documentary out here where they say that he might have been the first rapper serial killer. What? That's what we doing now? We just like the musical serial killers. We just gonna buy their songs. That is ill-advised because apparently he shot up a lot of people and kept going to jail and kept doing. And so now there's a video out saying that he's a part of the LGBTQIA community. Okay, good for him. Something tells me he's not out if he's out here being a gangster and shooting up people. But child, I don't know. So I was listening to his music, and there's one song, I guess it's a series of songs, where he tells this like crazy story. Remember R. Kelly, our friendly neighborhood kitty diddler, did a long series of songs called Trapped in the Closet or Stuck in the Closet or something like that. And it was interesting. It had a nice beat. You could dance to it, but it was also hilarious. I was just like, oh, I used to love those before I canceled R. Kelly in my mind. And so I was like, okay, so let me listen to this King Von song. This like, I think it's called Crazy Story, volume 1 through 1,000, whatever. So I was listening to Crazy Story and I was like, oh, this reminds me of the Trapped in the Closet series. Had a nice beat. You could groove to it. I was like, oh, okay. It's a filthy song. It's real filthy. The chorus talks about how he was being serviced by a sex worker and some stuff went down and whatever. But it was a good song. I really enjoyed the song. But then I found out he was really quite murderous. And I was like, oh, I don't patronize the music of kitty diddlers or murderers. That is just a standard I set for myself. Now listen, you can listen to whoever you listen to. Me personally, I like opera. I really love opera. I love show tunes. And I love like when there's a big giant orchestra and there's like a very dramatic conductor. Ooh, I love it. Classical music. Some of my kids like classical music too, which is really kind of funny. But anyway, so I'm a classical fan. Gustavo Dudamel, you're not going to see him out here conducting on Sunday and shooting people on Monday, because that is not how the dude rolls. There are some really brilliant conductors out there. There's a black guy whose name escapes me right now. Oh, I can watch him conduct all day, but y'all are not here to hear about my musical taste, which in my opinion are excellent. In your opinion, my musical taste may be trash, and we can agree to disagree. But personally, no murdery musicians. That's not my jam. What if I find out that Gustavo Dudamel is over there in LA conducting the children's orchestra, also shooting up people on the side, but he doesn't throw up like gang signs or whatever. I don't know how that works, but I would be disappointed. I would also stop listening to his music. So please, dude, don't do bad things. Please. Thank you. Anyway, all of that to say, closing arguments today. I will have more about that later. Now, last but certainly not least, Miss Shirley Strawberry. Child, there's all kinds of interesting information out there about radio talk show host Shirley Strawberry. To catch you up real fast, Shirley Strawberry is on one of the #1 radio talk show hosts as like sidekick / gossip columnist / like advice giver. Now, Shirley has a reputation of being very level-headed and having like, Steve gives like the funny ha-ha advice, and Shirley comes in with the sensible like, okay, now you should have a conversation with your partner, blah, blah, blah. And she's real level-headed. Only in real life, maybe not so much. Her husband was recently arrested on like 15 charges of inappropriate pictures with children. And oh, dear Black Jesus, please let that be a mistake. I hope somebody sent him a picture of like the baby in the bathtub, his grandchild. And he was like, oh, isn't that cute? And now they're calling that inappropriate child pictures. Sadly, I think that might not be the case, but I'm trying to give this. Why are there so many kitty diddlers out here? And if you are, you should maybe stay under the radar. You don't want that all. You don't want me to talk about you, because if you're doing that and I know about it and it's interesting enough for me to talk about, that means you have some level of fame. That's not gonna go good for you. I'm just saying. You don't have to take advice from me. I'm just saying, generally speaking, like, Also, don't do terrible things to children, because that's probably the better place to start. But okay. Anyway, Shirley Strawberry, level-headed gossip columnist / advice giver, married a man 10 years ago after many years of being single. She was a single parent. She's divorced. And so her adult daughter and the grandkids and everybody are listed as victims. Mr. Ernesto, that's Shirley's husband, his children listed as victims. He has financial crimes. He has theft by taking, meaning he stole something. Theft by deception, meaning he lied to get your money. He bounced some checks. Oh, he did a whole bunch of bad things. Not just the kid things, a whole bunch of bad things. Then his sidekick / side piece / woman that apparently Shirley knew about. How you let your husband's mistress move in next door? And you just still staying here? And you not hitting nobody upside the head with an iron skillet? Nobody? Okay, even yourself? Because honestly, if you're in a position where you're just like, yeah, he has that side chick. And yes, she lives next door. And yes, they travel a lot together. But I'm just going to let that slide while I go to work and give advice to other people on their relationships. Girl, it's time for you to hit yourself upside the head with a heavy iron skillet, because clearly something has gone terribly wrong in your brain. But those are just my standards. You may have other standards. The thing that I noticed the other day when I was looking up Miss Strawberry's, she had a whole Wikipedia page, and it told about her career and her previous marriage to the brother of Darryl Strawberry, famed New York Yankees player. See, I knew that. I know some sports things, but not very many. I think he played for the Yankees. There was a Darryl Strawberry. I know the name because it's an unusual name. And he had a problem with, he enjoyed the smell of white powder. Usually he enjoyed that smell through rolled up dollar bills, but whatever. he was a narcotics enthusiast, and he had a brother, somebody Strawberry, and Shirley married the baseball player's brother. And so then she got the name Shirley Strawberry, and that name looked good on her, whatever. She enjoyed it. So she stayed Mrs. Strawberry long after that divorce. And then somewhere along the line, she had a baby. Now, she was like 42 when this baby was born, but that was many years ago. That's when that used to be a scandal. And it probably happened like naturally, not through IVF. Good for you, Shirley. All them nice fertility genes. Fantastic. But listen, now Sheridan, the daughter, is all nice and grown up. Don't know if she has a relationship with her father or not, but she's very close to her mother, right? Shirley has the one child. Now, when Shirley starts dating Ernesto, there are rumors that Steve Harvey of the Steve Harvey Morning Show, also of the everything else in the entertainment business, set up Shirley with Ernesto. Also, he is not Spanish. Don't know why they call him Ernesto. His real name is Ernest, regular black man Williams, but his nickname is Ernesto. People call him Nesto. Great. So Steve is rumored to have set them up. I have also heard rumors that they met a bunch of other ways, and Sheridan was on board. She thought this was great and everything is going to be wonderful. And Shirley and Ernesto get married and they live in happily ever after, except for not. Turns out now Miss Strawberry has totally scrubbed the internet. I don't even know how you could do that, because they say the internet is forever. Apparently it is not, or I'm not doing a good enough search. Shirley's Wikipedia page that was there a couple weeks ago, gone. Shirley's social media, whatever, child, I can't find a thing. Whoever she hired, they did a good job. Because all of the stuff that I was reading about her last week, I was looking for basic information like, what is her age? What city does she live in? How old is her daughter? Gone. Everything has disappeared. Shirley, girl, you should start an internet scrubbing business, because you have done an excellent job of taking down all of your information. All that's left up there now are fan pages. Now, the word on the street is that Sheridan Strawberry has come out against her mother in this situation. Now, is that true? I do not know. I cannot verify a thing, because so many things have been removed from the whole World Wide Web. And I'm like, oh, Shirley is dead ass serious about making this stuff go away. Now, I was like, well, wait, are there still pictures of Shirley and Ernesto up on her social media? Let me just take a look and see. I'm just going to peek it with my little eye and see what I can see. That's when I realized, like, wait, her whole page is gone from what I could tell. Maybe I'm not looking at it right. Not only are there not pictures of them as a couple, there are not pictures of him at all. And apparently she is standing by her man, which, according to the other gossips that I was paying attention to, have upset Miss Shirley. I mean, have upset the fans and whatever. But like, she took down everything. It's no pictures of them as a couple. She did file a paperwork with the court that said he could come home if he wants to. He couldn't even find my local address if this was me, but it is not me, clearly, so I'm gonna leave it alone. So Shirley, girl, oh, and there was one report. There was from a shady source, so I'm gonna share it, but y'all do not take this as gospel, take it as gossip. Like, that's what you here for, the gossip, the rumor, and the innuendo. So the gossip, rumor, and innuendo on Miss Shirley is that she tried to harm her personal self, and the ambulance was called to her personal residence because she was despondent and upset. Okay, about the whole everything coming public. Okay. Got you. I would be upset too. I would be very, very upset. I don't know that I would be like harm myself type of upset. I would be like all of his belongings are in a bonfire in the backyard kind of upset. But that's just me. So I'm like, okay. And then I saw another report that was like, she is helping prosecutors and she is standing up for women everywhere. So maybe she's doing both. Maybe she's very sad while helping prosecutors and standing up for women everywhere. I hope there's a giant bonfire waiting to exhale style where she just puts all his stuff in his car and sets the whole situation on fire. I am not advocating for arson, but I'm saying that is a public service homicide, not a public service homicide. That is a public service arson. Sometimes crimes can also serve the public good. I'm just saying, you should not commit crimes. Do not take legal advice from your friendly neighborhood gossip. But I'm saying, if you get emotional and you need to fill somebody full of lead, set their car on fire, bunk them upside the head with an iron skillet, I can't be your offense attorney, but I will definitely be in the cheer section. Like, yeah, he had that coming. I'm surprised she didn't do it sooner. She should have got a bunch of us together because we could all have helped out. Child, listen, you want to get away with the crime? Now, listen, you ain't heard this from me. You want to get away with the crime? Make some true crime friends, because trust and believe, we have watched everything. We have looked at everything. Most of us are not up here on social media like, this is how you kill a dude and bury him in your backyard, blah, blah, blah. But guaranteed, your true crime girlfriends, oh, they can help you get away with crime. And you can just sit there at their house and have coffee, and they will never say a word, because that is how true crime people roll. True crime people, let them know in the comments, but please do it incognito, because we know how to get away with some stuff, if you know what I mean. Okay. I keep saying last but least in my head, but this one I think is probably the last thing. And the last thing is this girl, Carly, whatever her name is, who disappeared. Child, you shady. You are shady AF. So this is how she disappeared. She went to tzatziki, whatever. That's a Greek sauce. I did not know it was also a restaurant, but okay, I wonder what they serve. Do they serve like the soft, fluffy pita bread with the good lamb? Not like that lamb chopped up. I like the good lamb. Anyway, lamb can be a little oily though, and it's like bad for my heartburn. But she went to tzatziki, and then she went to Target and got snacks. Ooh, I love a Target snack. They have those dried strawberries, and you can put them like in a blender cup with some iced tea, and ooh, delicious. Anyway, she got all these snacks, including Cheez-Its. And I was like, why is the media mentioning the Cheez-Its? Like, Cheez-Its don't want to be involved with this kidnapping. Cheez-Its is like, please stop mentioning our name. Nabisco, I see y'all, Nabisco. Also owned by Mondelez. I know things. Anyway, so this girl got some Cheez-Its and some toilet paper. And called 911 and was like, hey, it's a baby here on the side of the road. I'm going to go get the baby. And then she drove 6 football fields while the baby was apparently walking with abandoned on the side of the road. Walked 600 yards. A baby, you say. Okay. And then she got off the phone with 911 and she called her sister-in-law and was like, girl, I'm following a baby. Yes, I've been following him for 4 miles, but yeah, looked like a baby to me. Still a baby. Oh, it's a white baby. So you know the police gonna come right away. A white male baby. That's like a future world dominator or meth head or regular human being. Child, I don't know. And then she was like, oh, wait. What is this? Oh, someone is kidnapping me. Ah! And then she left behind her cell phone, her running car, I believe her wallet and her wig. That's how you knew it was an emergency. And that's how you know she's good at faking things, because you can leave a lot of things behind. You're not leaving behind your wig, because when they find you, do you want the police footage of you to be sans wig? No, you do not. I'm not a wig girl. Every time I see somebody in a wig, I think, oh, sorry about your hair. But I mean, some people just like wigs. Okay, good, fine, whatever. But she left her wig behind. That was an emergency in my book. They hear her screaming, and then she disappears. And then she sits back and waits, and she enjoys her Cheez-Its over there at apparently the Red Roof Inn, unclear. Then after a day, she calls her family. She's like, hey, I'm at the Red Roof Inn. Help. Click. And hangs up the phone. So the family rolls up 6 carloads deep at all the different Red Roof Inns to try and rescue her, but she's not at the Red Roof Inn. And then another day goes by, and she's strolling peacefully down her street on her way home. And then as she gets close to her house, she starts screaming and waving her arms. Ah, I was kidnapped. Oh my goodness. Oh, and then the family calls 911 and gets the fire department over there or whatever. And fire department is like, she looked fine to me. She got Cheez-It breath, but So they take her to the hospital, and she makes this crazy statement about how an orange-haired man kidnapped her. Is Ronald McDonald out here kidnapping people now? Bozo the Clown? Who has orange hair? Orange hair with a bald spot in the back, kidnapped her, but didn't tie her up, took her clothes off, but didn't intimately assault her, and then played with her hair and fed her Cheez-Its? Ma'am, I'm going to need you to be more creative with your lies. merely a suggestion, merely a pro tip. When it comes to telling wild and outlandish lies, it has to at least be truth adjacent. That story that you just told, middle-aged, balding Ronald McDonald kidnapped you, did not tie you up, did not intimately assault you. His girlfriend, did she also have orange hair? Played with your hair and fed you Cheez-Its. Ironically, the same snack that you just bought from Target. Y'all have besmirched the name of Cheez-It, Nabisco, and Mondelez. They didn't have nothing to do with your lies, so I'm going to need you to leave their name out of your mouth. Also, leave their Cheez-Its out of your mouth. Although the rest of us, go enjoy a Cheez-It today to just help out that company. Yes, it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation, but Cheez-Its are delicious and are innocent in this crime. Innocent until proven guilty. This girl, Carly Rae, whatever her name is, oh, she guilty as hell. But them Cheez-Its, innocent. Okay, look. I need to get myself together. There is a lot going on today. We have Melly closing arguments. I have a new project at work. I'm drowning in work today. I should probably be at work right now. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and if I went to work right now, I could be busy straight through till 5 o'clock because I got a lot to do. But that's not going to stop me from listening in one little ear to the Melly closing statements because I kind of need to hear them. Okay, y'all have a great, safe day. There will be no lunchtime true crime today because I do not have time. I got a big project at work I'm working on that I'm very excited about, and I'm like sort of in charge of, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I got promoted like last year or whatever, and I'm super excited about that. But turns out they want me to actually do things when I'm there at work. It's scandalous, right? Like just because y'all gave me extra money and a better title, you want me to actually work? Oh, I had not realized that those two things go together. Okay. Now I'm putting that all together now. Okay. Many thanks to my dogs for not barking through this entire video, but they have been fed and I have talked for a long time and their voices get dry, although clearly mine does not. Y'all have a great, safe day and I will see you later. Bye.